Where's Christina?
Doctor appointment?
She's not gonna be here today.
She'll be back after lunch.
All right, Mario, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Today is May 1st, 2020. It's 10 o'clock, so we're gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order. Item 1.2 is roll call, Mario. We have a quorum, we have 4 present, 1 absent. We're gonna go into item 1.3, which is pledge of allegiance and the salute to the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Salute the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Item 1.4 is public comments. Anyone in the audience with public comment?
Judge, the viewing for Judge De Leon is Monday and Tuesday is the Vertigo at 10.
Monday at what?
Monday is the viewing in the afternoon and then Tuesday is the Vertigo.
Anyone else with a public comment? We've just said our pledge of allegiance, and that pledge of allegiance says that we're gonna be aligned with the federal government and the state of Texas. Fortunately, sometimes the federal government and the state of Texas, I guess in their efforts to protect everybody as a whole, sometimes they fail to see the needs of local communities. I thought about the orders and everything that we've passed, and the order that the governor has passed. And they all weigh heavily on everybody, especially small businesses. People's liberties and rights are interfered with, but it's all in the public's best interest. A lot of times we don't see, because we used to be free to do whatever it is that we think we need to do personally, and we forget and we fail to see what needs to be done for the community as a whole. We passed several orders, and the governor's office, and before I forget, I'm gonna tell everybody that the governor's office has seen fit to do away with our authority to regulate our local citizens. So in that regard, I'm gonna call item 2.1, which is discussion and appropriate action concerning the 0414 executive order declaration of local disaster and public health emergency and any issue dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. In that regard, the state has seen fit to open the state. So I pondered if our decisions locally to follow those rules that are set up for us, if they're going to affect our community in any way, shape, or form. And I'm sure that we can't think of it all. I'm sure that the governor can't think of it all. I know the president can't think at all. So, what are we gonna do locally to make sure that our community is safe? The governor has ordered that we open up the state because business is hurting, and I can see it, and I feel for them. and I know that they are hurting, and I know that the rules that we passed, to a certain extent, also affected small businesses. So what are we going to do to protect our citizens and at the same time protect our local businesses so that we can protect our economy? I don't know, I'm not that smart, but I will tell you that I have misgivings about opening everything according to the governor's rules. That's my opinion. So I guess the purpose here today is to see what are we gonna do. The only thing that we can do that we can not do really is not open the businesses up to 50%. Let them open them at 25%. That's one of the things that we can do. The governor's order says that we cannot do anything that intervenes or infringes or changes or adds to or takes away from his orders. I do not know what that means. Because if he allows allows the businesses to open to 25%, does that mean that we cannot restrict children from going into the store? It does not say that, it just says it's sporadic. He even did away with the laws that give us the authority to make those decisions. And if it contravenes what he is trying to do, which is open the state back up. So my question to you, and this is what we need to decide, we have a rule that says no children under 18 can go to a store. Is that a new rule? I think so. The less people are out there in the store, the less chance we have of people getting or picking up a virus in the store. So, do we want to do that? That's up to this court, Commissioner's Court. Our orders are in effect till the 11th. They're going to revisit this on the 18th. If all goes well as they hope, and I hope, then they'll probably go to the 50% and then just keep going until they get to, let's open it all up. Do we want to be part of the guinea pigs to find out if we're going to be faced with cases? Do we want to do that? It's up to the court. My other question is, we have a curfew. I still don't want children out and about in the community unless they're accompanied by an adult. Now, is it in the best interest of the businesses that we don't allow children to go to the businesses? Maybe the grocery stores, but if they're gonna go to eat, maybe not, right? Because they're not gonna be running up and down the store by themselves, they're gonna go eat, sit at the table. I don't know. Or we're gonna be that detailed, the governor was not, he just said 25, he didn't mention anything about children, he didn't mention anything about anything. When we asked questions, because the counties are allowed, the public is allowed to ask questions for his address. They said, well, 73% of the population is saying that we don't want the state to open. And his response says, well, if those 73% people are afraid, then they need to stay home. I guess he's saying it's voluntarily. He's opening it up for those people that want to participate and not opening it up for those that do not want to participate. Does it make sense? I guess so. So for us here today, my order that I entered and that the Commissioner's Court extended, I was planning on incorporating the governor's order by reference. I was thinking about leaving our order in place, except to say that our order is going to change in this regard, because I still think that we should not allow children at the stores. I think it's to the benefit of the businesses, because if you have a family that brings in 5 kids, and another family brings another 5 kids, mom and dad, that's 10, 14 kids right there, and if their maximum capacity is 30, well, two families took up half of the occupancy, and only one person is gonna buy something. So I think it's to their benefit to not allow children to come into the workplace. I think it's to their benefit to allow only one parent to come into the workplace, because then that means that store has actually 25% of actual consumers that are in the store, and not, 5 consumers and 30 people that are just in the store. Do we want to do that for restaurants? Probably not, because most often when they go into the restaurant, they're gonna go eat as a family, so they're all sitting down, and so that's one of the changes that I was contemplating and leaving alone. Now, it is unclear to me. I read all the orders that they issued, and of course I didn't sit down and ponder on them and read them over and over and over and over, but I still have a question as whether or not, and I think it's still in effect, the gatherings of 10 people or more is still in there. But what the governors did is says, this order supersedes that order in this regard, this order supersedes that order only in this regard, otherwise it's all affirmed, and this order supersedes all those orders, and I don't have an order that says you can do A, B, C, D, E, F, and you cannot do A, B, C, D, E, F. So what I tell the public is we're going to publish on our website the Open Texas, it's the governor's report to Open Texas. We're going to publish on our website the Texas Emergency Management Statutes, and advise the public that if they have a question as to what they can and cannot do by way of the governor's orders, I want to refer them to those sections, and then if they have a question as to my orders, then I will personally address all those issues. Now, I want to leave my order intact, other than whatever it conflicts with the governor's order as to opening the state, which is the 25% occupancy at restaurants. He opened up all the churches. He allowed outdoor sports to resume so long as no more than 4 participants are playing together at one time. I'm going to expand on that and say that in Dimmit County, they can have games on 2-on-2, but if there's more teams that are going to play on 2-on-2, that they be away from each other more than 6 feet, social distancing, that they cannot congregate in 10 or more persons. If there are going to be groups of 9, let's say there are going to be 3 groups of 9 people congregating to get ready to play basketball, then they should be 6 feet apart. There was a big deal about face masks. I don't know if I was contemplating if we open the businesses to 50% to do so and restrict them from allowing allow anybody in their stores without a face mask until we're sure that us reopening the state of Texas is not gonna produce another wave of infected persons. He did allow the county governments to have the authority to decide whether or not to open our public libraries and our public museum. We have one little museum. I don't have a problem with the museum opening. I don't have a problem with a public library opening so long as they don't have more than 10 people in the building. I don't have a problem with it. So he did give us that. Now, he made essential services, farmers, ranchers, groceries, drugstores, banks, gas stations, they were already open, but he prohibited swimming pools, bars, gyms, cosmetology salons, massage establishments, interactive amusement venues. I don't know what that means, the casino, but that does not apply to us, but I think that applies there. And bowling alleys, video arcades, tattoo piercing studios, they're all stay closed, and we still cannot visit that nursing home. So if we wanna go to the 50% for restaurants, then he gave us a laundry list of 8 things that we must do as a county before we can allow those businesses to operate at 50%. And we have to certify to DHS that we have investigated and that we have created and installed, or we're going to enforce those 8 standards. In a nutshell, that's what the governor did. I read most of the executive orders, and he still left in place. There's a list of states that you could not visit without being quarantined for 14 days. He took out of that list Louisiana and New Orleans, so anybody traveling to that state, we do not have to quarantine them, but it is mandatory that anybody traveling to California, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Washington, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Michigan, and Miami, Florida. Anybody traveling to those states must quarantine themselves for 14 days. Now, the governor has placed a fine of $1,000 and I believe 180 days in jail if there is a violation. I don't know if he wishes to apply that to us, so just be aware that if we leave our order in place, it might, I guess, affect his order. I don't know if it does or not, but I talked to a couple of the counties and they're saying we don't think that the governor has that authority. You know, saying, according to the way I read the statutes, I think he might have that authority. I don't think it specifically says, I didn't find one that specifically says that he has a right to trump our order, but I think one of the statutes, you can interpret it to mean that. And I think it's logical, because if the governor cannot order us what to do, then his orders might not be followed. So if I had to guess, that he probably does have the authority to trump us. Now, I want to open it for discussion. What do you, ladies and gentlemen, want to do about our executive order? And I guess we cannot do anything as to his order, but I'm sure that everybody by now has heard what the governor's orders are, so I don't want to repeat them all. I just And I want everybody and the public to understand that I did not set it out alone. My only concern here is, what are we gonna do with our executive? And, did y'all get a copy of the executive? Okay. So,
Judge.
yes, sir.
Based on that, 25%, are we going by what a permit permits, or what the restaurant owner tells us the number to be here?
Well, I don't know, but let's say Chili's, Red Dog, by law, they have to have a maximum occupancy. So it's 25% of that occupancy. I don't know the local restaurants like, I want to see, let's say Mimi's, let's see, I don't know if they are required to have a maximum. You don't, right?
Right, no, he knows the capacity, he knows how many people he can sit, but
Okay.
I don't know if he has something
Alright,
official from
so-
the fire marshal.
So I'm assuming that they determined that by how many seats they had in the restaurant and divide that by 4.
The reason I'm asking, because on our certificate, it says capacity 200 people.
And what certificate?
In the one at the office there in Big Boss. So that's why I was asking.
Okay.
It's got
So-
maximum 200 or whatever.
I personally don't know if he has that.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking him.
No, no,
But
what-
do we,
what-
go by what the restaurant owner tells you, or are you gonna require for them to have that certificate? That's what I'm saying.
No, because, you're talking about when you created your building, they told you can only have so many
Right.
people in there.
Is there
It's called an occupancy.
So doesn't everybody should have that?
It should be done by the city code enforcement.
I
Okay,
have not looked for ours personally, but
well then,
I'm sure there's
then,
some.
you'll probably be benefited by looking it up and then go by that, than by going to how many shares you have.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that would, but if we don't have that,
I think that everybody should have it.
is it something that they by law have to issue?
Yeah. So if you don't, then I'll suggest, I don't know, he used to be our code enforcer.
Judge, they could check with the city to see what building code they have adopted. And whatever building code for that year, that's gonna be, there's an occupancy code set for that, they should be following that one, whatever the city has adopted.
Okay, so I guess the best information I can give to anybody that might be seeing this video later on is that get a hold of the city and find out what their occupancy rate is so that you won't have a problem, and whatever that number is, divided by 4, and so then you have to make sure you keep up with because there's other restrictions there. You can only have no more than 4 people 6 people at a table, and those tables have to be 6 feet apart, and things of that sort. Those things I didn't get into, and I'm not gonna get into, that's something that the governor did. And those rules and regulations are contained in those two documents that are or manuals, or whatever they call them, that we're gonna publish, and just look at them and make sure that you comply with those. Or they're gonna be enforced, I don't know who's gonna enforce those, because if he trumped my order, then he asks, he gives me the authority, and I guess because he gives me that specific authority, I guess, because he did away with the section that gives us the authority, then he says, it's up to us to open our offices. I don't think he can get that far. Then it says it's up to us to open the public library but if he did away with that order, I don't know how we can have the authority to do anything other than he said it in his order. So, to answer your question, Commissioner, I guess if somebody has a certificate that says 200, well then they can allow 25 people.
It's almost figuring out, if it says 500, you can have 125 people. But if you take a family of 4 or 5, I mean, it won't give you much, but that's the only reason I was asking.
So, I guess in that regard, the social distancing does not apply to, well, I guess it does, but they're saying the tables has to be, you can't have no more than 6 at a table, and they have to be 6 feet apart, so it does comply with the social distancing, no more than
That's
10.
basically what they are, because the waitress, there's plenty of room for the waitress.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
the
way
way,
I see it, right, it's why.
We prepared.
So I was thinking just to, not mess with our order, if you look at our order, the most recent one,
We're just adding the 25% to the businesses.
well, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna change my order to say, this order, incorporates the governor's order to the extent that it does not, contravene this, okay? Cause, even though maybe we don't have the authority to do it, but I don't know, the way I read it, I don't know, this is, first go around for everybody. I've never been involved in a pandemic, or I have never had in 20 years to invoke this section to declare an emergency and keep people from doing things that they normally do. But if you look at, my order, let's go over it. Okay, it says, I'm gonna take out for the senior citizens, because I think that the governor in his order has provisions for the businesses to take care of the senior citizens. I cannot contravene that, so I wanna take that out. And the markers and all that stuff, that's something that he has, so this does not contravene what he has. Okay. Now, one adult per family, I wanna leave that in there. You know, I'm not gonna say anything about the 25% occupancy, but I don't want kids under 18 going to the stores, because I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I hope I can sit there and say, man, I think I would feel better to say, man, I could have helped the small businesses and I'll feel bad about it than say, man, I could have saved a life.
So they will be allowed or not? Anybody under 18, we're keeping it the way it is.
Yeah. And I still want the curfew for 24 hours, no children under 18 are allowed in public unless they're accompanied by an adult. Now, that hits his order that he will allow, 4 persons playing basketball, 2 and 2, but he didn't say minors, adults, or whatever, so we say only adults can do that, then theoretically, technically, we're probably interfering with his order. So, is that a risk we wanna take to save somebody from getting the virus that's a minor? That's a question that we need to answer right now.
Judge, on the same note, I was asked a question, I didn't know how to answer. I tried to call Christine, maybe she had the answer. They asked me, what about when they go fishing and they take their family? And I said, I don't really know, Paul.
The good thing about it, Commissioner, is that I don't think that, now, I don't think you have very many families that will violate the 10-person rule. So, if you're asking me if 5 families want to get together and go fishing, all I would suggest is that they stay 6 feet apart from each other, okay? Right, so, because let me tell you the story that happened in Corpus, that when they passed that rule that they could go fishing, open the beaches. Our ranger went over there and everybody was they were just fishing, the whole close by, so he closed the pier and told them go home. Right. So if you're gonna have, I don't think there's very many people that have 10 members in a family, immediate family. But if you're talking about, like, in my case, my kids and myself, we're 12. So can we go fishing? Yeah, just make sure that you all are 6 feet apart, and when you go eat, that, you divide your families in 3 and be 6 feet apart. Hey, I guess. Makes no sense, but social distancing has helped what we're doing, so. It's an inconvenience, but, that's the way I would do that. So what do you all think about, are we gonna allow, parents to go drop off their kids or kids that are under 18 to go play basketball 3-on-3? Before you know it, you're gonna have everybody out there playing basketball, kids, and they're not gonna abide by a 2x2 in there, so, I don't know. If we make it a little bit stricter, then that's gonna be a burden on our, policing staff. So, are they gonna give a minor a ticket, or are we gonna give the ticket to the parents? Can we actually do it? I don't know. I would say that if you guys are inclined to allow the minors to go out there, then it's gonna be hard for the officers to police it, and if they do, they probably have to go look for the dad. Take the kids home and go ticket the dad or mom or whatever. And I don't know if it will go in court, but, I mean, we can try and enforce it. But we don't have that many covered basketball or basketball courts. So what is your all's inclination about that?
And all of this on the basketball and are we still required to wear the mask?
The governor's inclination is he doesn't like the idea of wearing masks. So, Houston, Dallas, and those cities have a major problem with that. But, I don't know, locally, I don't know, and maybe you can read his order to say that, the sections that are gives us the authority or done away with to the extent that they violate his orders, but then now we have to determine what violates his orders, and then now we're walking on thin ice. So, I'm just gonna say, the orders that we're going to create, I do not think violate his orders.
And these are two different, my concern is, the theory is that the heat's supposed to kill this virus, but has it been proven yet? And the thing is, what I'm asking is, and I know obviously it differs because you still get a flu or cold during the summer. So what's there to say that this ain't gonna come into account?
We don't know. There's evidence the test to show that the coronavirus lasts longer in certain surfaces and not on others, and that it's more apt to get it from a plastic surface than it is from a clothing surface versus plastic, metal, and clothing. It lasts longer in metal, shiny metal, slick shiny metal, and it lasts less in plastic, and it lasts lesser in clothing. So, but do they really know? No, this is a new thing. They don't know. We don't know either. Now, can it survive at 110-degree weather? I hope not, because if it does, then we're in trouble, right? So, but do we know? If I had to guess, I said, I don't think so. Because it's hard for a human to survive, much less a virus, at 110 degrees. So, to answer your question, I don't know, but the playing together basketball and contact sport is not because of the weather that it's going to help. It's because when you're just by the mere talking, you're spitting. When you talk, most people, you spit, and then the virus lands on a surface and you pick it up. So that's the concern about the contact sport. Now, what is that going to do to baseball, little league, and all that stuff? You still slide, you still yell, you still, now. So I don't know. So I'm not that smart. The only thing I can tell you is that I don't like the idea that they can play basketball at this point. But I do not want to directly violate his order, because this is my problem, that if you know that what you're doing is a violation of the law and you disregard it, if I disregard it as a judge, Judicial Commission will come down on me and I'm no longer the judge. Because I'm deemed to be incompetent because I knew that it was a violation and I still went ahead and did it. I don't know, you guys probably won't have a problem. You know, but, I will, most definitely have a problem. So, even then, if my decision saves a life, so be it. I really don't care if I lose this job because I saved a life. Okay. But I would care if I didn't do anything to save my job and somebody dies. I don't think I could live with that. So, I myself would say that if they're going to be playing basketball, they got to be adults that can make an informed decision. If they want to risk getting the coronavirus, okay. But a child, I don't think that. There's a lot of parents that will do what's right for their children, but there's a lot of parents that will not. So, I don't know. I think that it's justifiable for us to make that decision. So, I would leave it that no child could be out in the courts unless they're accompanied by their adult. So that falls in place with my order. And if adults want to go play basketball 2 and 2, I do not have a problem. Write it down, Commissioner, porque se me va a olvidar lo que dije. Mario, make sure that all those little things I can write down because I have notes for that. So what do y'all think? You want to leave that all children under 18 have to be accompanied by adults? Okay, so if they go play basketball, they're not accompanied by adults, then they need to go home. I also think we should leave the 24-hour curfew. Anybody that's outside, that's under the age of 18, unless they go to work or going to work or working, then they must be accompanied by an adult. Now, we do have and I think we got additional monies to provide additional meals to persons over the age of 60, and our nutrition center is doing that. Now, we have in our number 10 is requires all persons who have traveled internationally or who have traveled within the United States to an area where the COVID-19 virus has been reported to spread as per the Center of Disease Control, to include the states of New York, Washington. I listed 3 of them, but all I'm going to do there is I'm going to incorporate the list of states that the governor has prevented, and to make it a little bit more clear. So I put international, so anybody that travels international, I want them to be quarantined by themselves. Now,
Are we still, with our employees also, is the county, Dimmit County, Crystal City, that they're allowed to travel, or they're allowed to travel?
my feeling is this: if anybody from any one of my employees or county's employees, if they travel, or anybody in the county, if they travel internationally, I mean, I want them to stay home for 14 days.
I understand internationally, but are we allowed to go outside the county? Because we had said we were allowed to do Dimmit County and travel to Crystal City, Savannah County, that was it.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, we would have to stay home and quarantine
So
for 2 days.
quarantine, okay.
So-
My rule to my employees is if you go to any place where there's the virus, like San Antonio, Laredo, I don't want you to come back to work for 14 days. And if you went over there voluntarily, then you're not gonna get paid. Okay. But if you go over there because you have a doctor's appointment or whatever, it is what it is, right? Just be careful and let us know you're gonna do that so that we can stay away from.
I think I put my food in my mouth.
Okay.
I seen 2 guys to go pick up one of my trucks, Laredo, so I quarantined them
You send them to Laredo to pick up a truck?
to pick up the man. So on the outskirts of Laredo, but it's still.
Okay, but, if they have any interaction, because if that, before they get in the truck, if they sanitize it, then they probably won't have a problem. If they had communications with anybody, then,
Well, probably the salespeople there or the mechanics probably. They're at the garage center. I feel comfortable sending them home for 14 days, but they're gonna get paid. I don't want them to use their sick leave because it was a decision I made. And I
Well-
forgot all about the traveling. I thought we could go to Lopez or anywhere else. But now that you mentioned it, that they're not supposed to, then if I see them, I think that if I'm on quarantine, then they need to be paid
who did you send them?
this morning.
Well, just, the driver that's gonna drop off that guy, just make sure he just, gets off, drops off the guy and comes back home. You don't have to quarantine him.
No,
But
but they both went over there.
you
Pick it up. They
But,
went to pick it
but
up.
they both didn't go pick it up. You took
One
one.
of them went to pick it up.
Okay.
That
That-
one I gotta send home.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
As to the other one, if he just went and dropped him off and came back home, you don't have to worry about it.
You went to pick it up, somebody was drunk, who dropped it off? Were they pulling from
We
the?
left it in the trailer and then go home. Just leave it alone.
Now, if it's on the low boy, you gonna pick up the low boy?
No. Well, she's asking me how did I take it, and we just dropped it off at the local.
Oh.
But on here, he did go inside to sign the papers and all.
Oh, okay, so when you dropped it off, I'm not, I just
They
dropped it
know
off in
everything,
there.
the guy called me, I had already talked to the mechanic and everything else, so they knew what to do.
Judge,
Uh,
And
Judge.
when-
a lot of the companies are doing sanitizing when you pick up your vehicle, so
oh, they do,
that's normal practice nowadays. They
okay.
give you your vehicle back, they sanitize it, clean it, the way I understand it.
If that's the
But he
case,
needs to check on that,
if that's the case, then it's
if they
okay.
sanitized it.
Pero if he had contact with those, with persons over there, I would just,
That's fine. So what do I put on the time sheet, just warranty?
you send them home quarantine.
Okay.
We've been sending people like Christina and Gary to San Antonio, but they don't get off the truck. They just back up, they load everything up and they come back. But for the most part, we're having everything delivered. Right now is the time where, don't think twice about delivery. Just bring me my truck, leave it at the Metroplex or somewhere else and drop it off and leave the keys in the truck, y vete para atrás, and then wait a couple of days before you go over there and pick it up. Okay, now, to get back to this, we had the 14 days from return to United States. I want to leave that in there. Now, we had, if you went to San Antonio, Laredo, my employees, I don't know that the governor can tell us what not to do with our employees, right? So my employees, I don't want them to go any place where, Uvalde, Crystal City, LaSalle, Lakey, all those, Eagle Pass only has 9 active right now. They have told us 16, but 9 are active, so they don't have a major problem. So I have a problem. My problem is not, if we open the place, my problem is not opening the place, because not very many people are gonna come over here to shop, to eat. But I know that my people, once San Antonio's open, Laredo's open, well, Laredo's not open, but once Eagle Pass open, they open the mall, they open, then my people are gonna go over there, and guess what? They're gonna bring it back. So, staying at home, even though they opened it, shop locally, eat locally, and then we'll be all right. So, the going out of the county, I still, for my employees, I mean, we can't do it to the general public, for my employees. We've instructed them, if you have to go, the hottest spot that I don't have too much of a problem with is Eagle Pass. But you have to go to any other hot spot voluntarily, then you're gonna stay home and we're not gonna pay. Okay, but if you have to go because there's a doctor's appointment that you need, if you're gonna lose your eye, you're gonna lose your hearing. Okay, but if you're gonna go clean your teeth, wait till, if it's something that is not mandatory, nothing that's gonna hurt you, then you need to wait. If it's something like some of our employees that we have that have a problem, that go to the doctor. Okay, so we went through our list. I think that's what we should do with the order, but I'm leaving it all up to you. Like I said, I'm just gonna incorporate the governor's office and take a little of the things that I think is gonna contribute here, so we won't have a problem and take it from there.
Our offices will continue to be closed?
Our offices will be continued to be closed until the 15th. At that point, we'll know what happened in 15 days. So we're making guards for our offices. If you all think you need one, you need to let us know so we can take care of it. We're gonna install some at the tax assessor's office. We already put one. We put the protocol, la muestra in Maribel's office. So if you all want to see it, it's there. We're gonna make 6 or 7 for Texas Assessor's Office. Ms. Gonzalez wants a couple too, so we're gonna make them. And anybody that feels unsafe, we can't get them their shield, then we'll do one of those. Otherwise, if you feel like you need to protect yourself further, want to wear a mask at work, I don't have a problem. I wear a mask only when I go to H-E-B, Walmart, Dollar General, any place where there's a lot of people that come in and out, I wear my mask. But very important to sanitize your hands. I'm just repeating what everybody is saying. Stay home, sanitize your hands, stay away from people as much as you can. I'm talking about strange people. We don't have the virus here, so the chances of us having it are next to none, unless you invited somebody from California to your house and you don't want to tell us, then you might give us a problem. If everybody's up front and it's not a problem, just say, hey, I had visitors from California, we'll stay away from you, we won't shake your hand, we won't, and wait the 14 days to see what happens to you. But hopefully the news last night was that they have something that they believe is going to be the next vaccine. They checked out something that says that it looks pretty good. We don't know, and the doctor for the president has been saying that it's going to take about a year and a half. So he says by December they should have something by December. Okay, so if that's true or not, I do not know. But if you turn on the TV, CNN, the supposedly fake news that the president says, they have a lot of information there and they have it constantly. So anybody that wants to get that type of sort of information, then they need to look at those newscasts. The news, they have it every day.
Question, my daughter's family's coming down from Florida, Minnesota, for the funeral. Is she allowed to come back to work?
I would not allow her to come back.
Is she gonna get paid for
No.
not coming back?
If I was you, I wouldn't be around anybody from Florida, anybody from the East. I know they wanna come see I know Eddie wants to come see his mom, and, okay, our rule says, other cases, Miami, anybody from Miami's gotta be self-quarantined. If they see those persons outside, then they're gonna get $1,000 ticket.
I know he's from Florida, but I'm thinking,
Still,
Jacksonville.
I don't know, but I don't know if it says the state of Florida or a city in Florida. But, they need to be very careful. I would, you know, de lejos. Yeah, she needs to, first for her own safety, I don't know if she has any health problems, but okay, so the further you stay away, the better off she's at. The better off you are, the better off she's at. Anything else, any other questions, any other concerns, anything, any comments, Miss Newspaper Lady? No? Okay,
I was gonna ask about when the courthouse would open.
okay. You gonna open your restaurant?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to add that the next time, the next election that we have, it's gonna be a big difference in how it's handled.
Yeah.
The same precautions, as far as the mask, the gloves, the 6 feet apart. I guess the policy is gonna be, get in, vote, get out,
They need to wear a mask.
everybody, yes.
Judge, garage sales and rummage sales and stuff like that, generally, for the springtime, and especially now, previously, they used to be big things, and we haven't had any in a long time. When will the restrictions allow people to be doing that?
I got half of what you said. You wanna come up? Sorry.
For people who wanna do rummage sales, yard sales, things like that, they're home, cleaning out their homes, things like that, when will that be allowed?
Oh, I never even thought about that.
It's an outdoor.
It's an outdoor thing, and if they wear their masks, and if they practice social distancing, now, your practice at your restaurant, you cannot take money, right? It's gotta be plastic.
I don't know, they've been taking to-go orders, and I think people have been paying, the majority of people do pay with card.
But I think that one of the rules that you have to abide by is that I don't think you can take, there can't be in your action. I don't know, you gotta make sure that you read it.
And since I'm not at that side.
Yeah, so,
But he's
but-
been talking to the employees about that and what they can.
most people that go to those rummage sales are local people. I really don't have a problem with it, but if somebody wants to take the risk of opening a rummage sale, I would say limit it to residents of the county only, right? That way you won't have a problem.
I was just wondering, because I know that's something that's
Good question.
a big thing for summertime.
As long as they practice social distancing, I have a problem. Anything else? Any other discussion? Motions?
So,
Okay, we have a motion to I guess, to the order that we have in place, subject to the corrections and incorporating the governor's office into our order. Is that what your motion is? Okay. Do we have any seconds?
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner, the motion was made by Commissioner Rubalcaba, the second was made by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. Do we have any other discussion? Any other question? If not, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, same sign. Motion carries. Commissioner,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
second.
seconded by Commissioner Rubalcaba. Do we have any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.